And I want to get to process, but you said something interesting about, I'm thinking back to the example of an HR person or a founder or a first-time sales leader that has never, somebody who hasn't hired that many salespeople before, or even like myself. Like I spent most of my life in sales before I started PR, and then I had to turn around and go hire a bunch of people. To try and figure out how to hire people, my initial reaction was I'll just hire people that are just like myself. Turns out people like myself, including myself, are terrible. And it was a bad idea. How do I figure out, and I mean, I shouldn't say entirely terrible, but to hire 10 Collins would be a horrible idea for any organization, let alone mine. Obviously, we want a diverse talent pool. How do I figure out if I'm, a first-time seller, first-time sales leader, CEO, how do I figure out what is the right type of person that we should be looking for?
Yeah, great question. So one of the things that I tell clients when we're going through this exercise is we first have to figure out what would it take for someone to be successful in your business. All right. Your business is different than any business out there. And as cliche as it sounds, it really is. Most companies think, for example, I have a lot of clients in the manufacturing space, and in talking to them, they say, well, we just need somebody who's great in manufacturing. They've been successful in the manufacturing industry, right? Okay, that can be part of the criteria that we look for. But your manufacturing company, say that you manufacture cups. Your cup manufacturing company is different than the next cup manufacturing company, right? Mm-hmm. And the reason for that is your target is different. Your sales cycle is different. Your price point is different. The title of person that you go after is different. Your sales cycle is different. Your level of resistance is different. And so to put yourself in the same bucket as the people in your competition, the same pool as your competition, does not help you in figuring out what's the right person to go after, right? And so instead, the first thing you have to look at, right, is you have to ask yourself the question of what would it take for someone to be successful in my business, right? Given the type of people that I target, given the price point in which we sell, given the sales cycle that it takes us to close, given the level of resistance that we have. That's the criteria that you look for, right? And so when you're going out there and you're hiring for salespeople, you have to hire salespeople who have already been successful doing that, right? You have to find people who have already been successful. Say that you determine that in order for someone to be successful in your business, say you sell to CEOs, say that you sell one call close, say that you sell premium price, and say that the level of resistance is really high, right? Mm-hmm. You have to find someone who has already been successful selling to CEOs, selling a premium product, selling the one call close, and selling in a high resistant level type sell, right? Because that person has both the DNA to make it happen, and then two, they have the skill sets to do that. One of the biggest mistakes that I see companies make when it comes to hiring salespeople is they meet a salesperson. Maybe that salesperson came in and they try to sell to them. All right. They meet them and they say, oh my gosh, you're a great salesperson. I want to hire you. And say that this person was in insurance, right? And they were a badass at insurance, right? And you are a cup manufacturing company and you've managed to recruit that person over to your business. And again, say that you sell to CEOs, presidents, business owners, you're selling something really premium priced, and say that you have a really high level of resistance and you go out and you hire somebody who comes from insurance, and say that that person was selling something really cheap to end users and their sales cycle was something like 9 months. That level of skill set that they have that they were really good at does not translate to the level of skill set that you want them to have, right? And so the first thing you need to figure out as a first-time sales manager, as an HR manager, is truly understanding what would it take for someone to be successful here? Because not every person is going to have that skill set or that DNA or that commitment to make it happen.